North Korea is roaring with military parades and echoing slogans. Amid this strange atmosphere stands a young woman with a faint smile on her face. This is no ordinary woman. This is Kim Yo Jong, the only and younger sister of North Korea's supreme leader, Kim Jong-un. Yet behind this innocent-looking face, the world remembers her as one of the most dangerous women alive. Yes, the most dangerous woman in the world. These are not just the words of critics. Experts warn that Kim Yo Jong should never be taken lightly. Today, we take a look inside North Korea's closed world to see how this woman has silently built a web of power. A woman who can strike mercilessly when needed, and who knows how to disarm enemies with a smile. What makes the world call her one of the most dangerous women in history? Welcome once again to ZMTV. Viewers, Kim Yo Jong was born around 1987 in Pyongyang. According to the U.S. Treasury, her birth date is September 26, 1989, while South Korean experts say 1987. No one can confirm the exact date with certainty. What is confirmed, however, is that she is the youngest daughter of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-il and the biological sister of today's supreme leader, Kim Jong-un. Her mother, Ko Yong-hui, gave birth to 3 children. Kim Jong-chol, who has little interest in politics, prefers music and lives in his own world. The second is Kim Jong-un, now the face of North Korea, and third is Kim Yo Jong, the beloved younger sister of 2 brothers. She spent her childhood with her brothers inside a luxurious private compound in Pyongyang, but she was never brought before the world. The public saw her for the first time in 2011 when she stood beside her brother at their father's funeral. At first, no one knew who she was, but for those who understood power signals, it was clear she had entered the inner circle. After that, Kim Yo Jong became her brother's trusted companion, as Kim Jong-un began ruthlessly removing every obstacle in his path to power. She was seen around the supreme leader at every meeting and ceremony, sometimes holding documents, sometimes even carrying an ashtray so her chain-smoking brother wouldn't be inconvenienced. The world saw her as merely an assistant, a sister helping her brother. But the reality was far more frightening. To understand this alliance, we must go back a few years. In the 1990s, Kim Jong-il sent his children to Europe for education. In 1996, Kim Yo Jong was sent to a school in Bern, Switzerland, where she studied under a fake name. Soon after, Kim Jong-un joined her. The siblings attended the same school, both registered under false identities. Kim Jong-un as Pak-un and Kim Yo Jong as Pak Mi-hyang. In Switzerland, they were known as ordinary Korean children, but the truth was very different. They lived in a modest apartment constantly monitored by North Korean officials. Relatives stayed with them, along with a team of undercover bodyguards. Classmates recalled photos of basketball players inside the apartment, likely reflecting Kim Jong-un's interest. But Kim Yo Jong was always kept under heavy protection. For years, they acted like normal students while an entire state machinery operated behind them. In 2000, Kim Yo Jong returned to North Korea. In 2007, she earned a degree in computer science from Kim Il-sung University in Pyongyang and secured a junior position in the ruling Workers' Party. She was publicly seen again at her father's funeral in 2011. Soon after, in 2012, she was appointed tour manager for the National Defense Commission, no small role. She was responsible for managing her brother's travel, where he would go, which routes he'd take, when he'd travel, and what would accompany him. She was only 23 at the time and even helped plan his security. In 2014, North Korean media officially disclosed her name when she was appointed vice director of the Workers' Party's Propaganda and Agitation Department. Though technically a media wing, its real job is propaganda, shaping public perception of the leader. Within a year, she quietly became the department's true power. On paper, others ranked higher, but authority rested with Kim Yo Jong. She had effectively become the propaganda chief. In a country dominated by men, a woman reaching such a position was nothing short of extraordinary. Holding the reins of the propaganda machine, she worked to shape her brother's image into that of his grandfather, Kim Il-sung, strong and untouchable. By this point, many believed she shared responsibility for the regime's oppression just as much as Kim Jong-un. Some even considered her more powerful than the supreme leader himself. In 2017, the U.S. Treasury placed her on its sanctions list. In February 2018, she stepped onto the world stage during the Winter Olympics in South Korea. The event became a diplomatic opportunity, and North Korea was invited. For the first time since the Korean War ended in 1953, a member of North Korea's ruling family set foot on South Korean soil. Instead of Kim Jong-un, his sister went. When her special aircraft landed in Pyeongchang, global media watched in astonishment. With her smile, she performed diplomacy even amid hostility, presenting a softer image of North Korea. She dined with South Korean leaders and delivered a secret letter from her brother suggesting tensions might ease. But experts believed it was all part of a strategic trap, propaganda at work. Throughout 2018 and 2019, she appeared beside her brother at major meetings, from the historic summit with South Korea's Moon Jae-in to the high-profile encounter with U.S. President Donald Trump. Like a shadow, she ensured every photo and headline benefited her brother's image. By late 2019, nuclear talks with the United States had collapsed. Blame may have fallen on her, and she was quietly removed from the political bureau. The world assumed her rise was over, but it was only the calm before the storm. In April 2020, a strange situation emerged. Kim Jong-un suddenly disappeared from public view. Intelligence agencies and media worldwide speculated he might be dead. Then, in the ominous silence, a thunderous statement emerged from North Korean media, issued in Kim Yo Jong's name. She compared South Korea to a frightened dog that only knows how to bark. It wasn't just a threat. It was a message. If the brother is absent, the sister is ready to take the throne. Within weeks, Kim Jong-un reappeared, and Kim Yo Jong was restored to the political bureau with even greater authority. That single moment proved she was not merely an advisor, but the regime's true Iron Lady. In North Korea, the path to power often runs over the bodies of one's own, and Kim Yo Jong is seen as a skilled player in this bloody game. In 2013, when Kim Jong-un executed his own uncle, Jang Song-thaek, for treason, many believed his sister's mind was behind the terrifying decision. His alleged crime? Not clapping enthusiastically enough for the supreme leader at an event. Similarly, in 2017, Kim Jong-nam, Kim Jong-un's half-brother, was poisoned at a Malaysian airport, a killing widely attributed to the regime. Recent reports suggest that some high-ranking officials in North Korea were sentenced to death simply for showing delayed respect in her presence. In June 2020, on her orders, North Korea blew up the Inter-Korean Liaison Office, a building that symbolized the last hope for peace between the two Koreas. Kim Yo Jong doesn't just make decisions. Her words themselves function like weapons. Her rhetoric toward defectors is especially harsh, calling them human scum and threatening severe consequences for betrayal. And her anger isn't limited to her own people. In 2023, she referred to U.S. President Joe Biden as an old man with no future and called South Korea's president America's obedient dog. Such language shows that her style is no less aggressive than that of any male dictator, and when she's angry, some say she goes even further than her brother. Today, Kim Yo Jong is widely regarded as North Korea's de facto #2 leader. She sits on the country's highest decision-making commission and governs alongside her brother. Officially, she remains the propaganda chief, but her influence extends deeply into every policy and decision. Recently, she has issued at least 40 official statements on behalf of Kim Jong-un, statements once delivered only by the supreme leader himself. This suggests she has effectively become the voice of the state. Many experts even describe her as North Korea's potential first female dictator, something the world has never truly witnessed, a woman leader openly threatening nuclear war. Given the circumstances, analysts believe that if anything happens to Kim Jong-un, power would most likely pass to Kim Yo Jong. North Korean defector and diplomat Tae Yong-ho has said that if Kim were to die suddenly, leadership rules point directly to her, especially since Kim Jong-un reportedly has no mature son ready to inherit power. But is she the most powerful female leader in history? History has seen formidable women before. China's Empress Wu Zetian seized power after her husband's death and sacrificed even those close to her for her ambitions. Europe's Queen Mary Tudor spilled rivers of blood over relatively small matters. Yet none of those rulers possessed a nuclear button, nor controlled a society so closed that dissent is nearly impossible. Kim Yo Jong has both. That is why many believe she truly may be the world's most dangerous woman. If anyone still underestimates her because she is a woman, it may be their greatest mistake. There was a time when the world saw her as merely a silent supporter. Today, she stands as one of North Korea's most powerful and mysterious figures. The question is no longer how dangerous Kim Yo Jong is. The question is whether the world is ready to face its first true female dictator. Dictator, if Kim Jong-un disappears from the scene. A woman whose single signal can reduce buildings to ashes, lead officials to execution, and whose fury can shake the world's most powerful nations. Will Kim Yo Jong prove even more ruthless than her brother? Or is this only the beginning of a far more terrifying story? We hope you'll like and share this ZMTV video. Thank you for your continued support and wonderful comments. See you in the next amazing video.